Hello, I'm Brian Essex from How To Automotive, and in today's video, we're going to be replacing a fuel pump on a Honda Element. So the first thing we need to do is get the rear carpet up and the floor mat here below removed. So you're going to need all four doors open, and this is going to be behind the front seats. We're going to get started by pulling up the panels here on the door seals. So we're going to pull these up, and then we're going to get the seats pulled all the way forward. And you can see I'm doing this all by hand. There are no special tools really required. There's just clips holding it down. So once you get the door spills pulled up, now you can pull the carpet or the floor mat here, or the rubber mat up like this. We're going to do this all the way across. There's a clip here in the center that you'll need to pop out here. And you're going to do this on both sides of the vehicle. So this is the driver's side I'm working on first. Now we're going to swap over to the passenger side and pop the floor panels up, and then pull the carpet back. Now I used a bungee cord and just bungee corded it back and out of my way. On the driver's side of the vehicle, there's an access panel with 4 screws we need to remove. So these are held on with 4 Phillips screws. We're just going to remove these. Once you got the screws removed, you can go ahead and pull the panel off, set this aside. Underneath there, we're gonna need to clean this area with some compressed air and blow that off. I like to put a blanket or something over it like this and then spray the air. That way the debris doesn't fly inside the vehicle. And we do this so dirt and debris doesn't fall down into the tank once we remove the pump. So now we need to disconnect the fuel lines and the electrical connector to the pump. You just squeeze the tabs right here, squeeze, and then pull the line off. Once you get the line off, you want to remove the plastic tab that stays onto the old pump here. So pry this off, try not to break it, and then you're going to stick that back into the old fuel line here. Now you can squeeze the tab on the electrical connector and pull straight up. Mine was a little difficult. I had to use a pair of pliers to put on here and get it to come off. To remove the lock ring on the fuel pump, it requires a tool like this. So this tool is adjustable. So you'll loosen the wing nuts and adjust it to where the notches on the tool line up with the notches on the cap here. And then once they're lined up, you lock the wing nuts down. Then you can put a ratchet on here and press down on the tool. And once you got your press down on the tool, you use your ratchet to rotate and loosen up the cap here. So it grabs onto those little teeth on there. And then once you get this a couple turns, you'll take it off. You should be able to do this by hand. Whenever I'm doing this inside vehicles, I like to use a plastic tub like this one here, and I can go ahead and pull the fuel pump up, and then I immediately put it in this plastic tub, trying to reduce the amount of fuel that spills in the vehicle. So this, you're gonna have to pull it straight up, and then once you get it up as far as it'll go, the float will be on the bottom here. You need to angle it and get the float out. Once you get that clear, now you can throw it in your bucket and then remove it from the vehicle. So there's most likely going to be a small amount of dust and debris around here. So you might want to clean this off so that doesn't fall down, and then the seal seals up nice and tight. So as you can see here, I'm pulling the seal over the pump here, the new tank seal. Make sure your pump comes with this. You don't want to reuse these seals. So now if you try to put it on all the way like I am right here, and then try to put it down inside, you may have difficulty. So I actually had that problem on this one. So what I had to do is when I tried to push it down, it wouldn't go down in there with it on there. So I had to take it back off a little bit here and then put the seal around the opening on the fuel tank here. So I peeled it off, and then I used my fingers to position the seal around the fuel tank where it goes. So you can see here, I'm just using my fingers positioning the black fuel tank seal. It's securing it around the tank. And once I did that, then I was able to push the fuel pump module straight down, and then it would go right in position. So there is alignment marks right here and right here. You just want to make sure the fuel lines and the electrical connector are in the same position. Push the module straight down. Once you got it pressed down, now you're going to take your lock ring here. Mine came with a new one. You can reuse the old one if it doesn't come with it. Mine came with a new one. I will link up all the parts and the tools that I'm using in the description of this video. So as you can see here, I'm pressing down with one hand and starting the lock ring with my other hand. So you just want to make sure you get it threaded on correctly, not crooked or anything. And then once you thread it down, then you can use the tool to help lock it down. Once the lock ring is on and tight, now you can go ahead and plug the fuel line back in and then plug the electrical connector back in. After that, you can start the vehicle by cycling the key on and off a couple times, and then go ahead and crank the vehicle. We're going to make sure one, the fuel pump works, and two, that there is no fuel leaks or anything right here at the line. Now you can put the cover back on with the 4 screws and secure those. Now you're ready to put the carpet back down into position and put it underneath all the panels and clips that held it in place. And that'll complete the job of replacing a fuel pump on a Honda Element. I'm Brian Esser from How To Automotive. I'd like to thank you for watching and encourage you to subscribe.